Hello, my name is Lara Ljumovic and I'm here today to present findings of my analysis for this project and give recommendations for further steps. Motivation for this project was that in United States, in influenza season, more people than usual suffer from flu, and some people, particularly those in vulnerable populations, can develop serious complications and end up in hospital. And hospitals and clinics require additional staff to adequately treat these extra patients. And the goal of this project was to determine when to send staff and how many to each state. Influenza, or most commonly known as flu, is a contagious viral infection that causes serious complications to respiratory organs, fever, aches, and even death. People that are at risk are identified by CDS as vulnerable population, and those are patients who are most likely to develop serious complications, and those include adults over 65, children under 5, pregnant women, and also patients with additional chronic health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or cancer. On average, every year, around 46,000 people die from complications caused by influenza. For example, in 2015, we have the highest number of deaths being 49,708, and in 2010, we had 42,524. Here on the left side, we can see number of deaths for each year and also forecast for 2018 and 2019 for each state. For example, this is California, and for 2018 we have estimation of around 5,930 deaths. On the right side we have a horizontal bar chart that represents deaths in vulnerable group, which are elderly over 64 years old and children under 5. My statistical analysis discovered that this vulnerable group is most likely to develop serious complications. For example, if we choose another year, for example 2013, we can see that the first 10 states are pretty much the same as last year in 2017, and this is consistent for every year for 2015, for example, or 2011, with California and New York always being the first two. Here we have a pie chart that represents ratio of deaths in vulnerable group and deaths in non-vulnerable groups. And each year we can see that about 90% of all deaths are deaths in this vulnerable group. Spatial analysis showed that state with highest number of deaths is every year California, followed by New York. But it's interesting to see that the 5 states that have highest number every year are always the same 5 states, just changing places. As you can see, it's like that every year. 5 states with highest total mortality rate are also pretty much the same states. For example, Hawaii had last year that mortality rate of 32.2 deaths per 100,000. In for example, 2012, it was New York with 22.1 per 100,000 people. Also on this map, we can see that east of Mississippi River, which is this region, we have the highest concentration of influenza deaths, and of course in California, which is also the most populous state in the United States. Analysis showed that there is a season to influenza with some exceptions. Most likely the influenza season starts in late fall and lasts until spring. Here, for example, if we choose all states, we can see that the highest number of influenza deaths are in December, January, February, and March. But other states will show that sometimes season starts in October, and for some states and some years, like Florida, for example, it can last even during March or April. As you can see, it's a very high number of deaths even in May or July even. The same is for Hawaii. Let's see. So here we see in May, it's very high number of deaths. And to conclude my analysis, the highest influenza-related mortality is among vulnerable group. Again, those are elderly over 64 years old and children younger than 5 years. In majority of states, influenza season is during late fall, winter, and early spring months. That is November through April. States with highest need for additional medical staff are states with highest population of people from vulnerable group and at the same time with highest count of influenza-caused deaths. So my recommendation is that majority of medical staff should be sent to 14 states with high and medium need, which are represented with red and yellow color here on this map. So high need states are states like California, New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Illinois. Those are states colored with red on this map, and medium need states are Ohio, North Carolina, Michigan, Tennessee, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Georgia, Missouri, and Virginia. And additional medical staff should be sent from November to April. Further analysis should be made with regards to vaccination policy, and success rates should be investigated and added at extra dimension in further analysis and recommendations. That's all for today. If you have any further questions, please reach out to me, and if you need any additional information about my statistical analysis or temporal or spatial analysis, please reach out. Thank you again for listening today, and have a great rest of the day.